Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Once again, I welcome everyone on EduCare 247 channel. Today we are going to cover another topic of people domain. As per PMI content outlined in May 2020, this topic listed as task 14 and the topic is emotional intelligence for high performance teams. In today's session, first we will cover what is emotional intelligence and we will discuss this topic in detail. And the second topic we'll discuss is the four quadrant of emotional intelligence. And at the last, we will see some sample questions. Now let's discuss emotional intelligence in detail. Unlike IQ or intelligence quotient, which peaks in our early 20s, EQ or emotional intelligence continues to develop throughout our adult life. Emotional quotient can be developed and learned over time with practice. So there is one of the famous psychologist, Daniel Goleman, who popularized emotional intelligence, describes it in terms of five main components. And what are the five main components? The first one is emotional self-awareness. The second one is self-regulation. The third one, motivation. Fourth, empathy. And the last one, social skills. We need emotional skills or emotional quotient to build productive relationship in the workplace along with IQ. Now let's talk about the four different quadrant of emotional intelligence. Let me draw a line here, a y-axis and x-axis. So the left side of this y-axis, we call this category as self, in which we have two different headers, the self-management and self-awareness. The right side we call others. So these are the characteristics that we measure or we discuss with respect to others. And if you see here, the first part of the x-axis is talking about regulation and control of such kind of characteristics of behavior or component. And the lower side of the x-axis is talking about recognition or to recognize all these characteristics and component. As an example, if I talk about the very first quadrant, this is self. So these are the characteristics about self. So which includes self-control, conscientiousness, adaptability, drive and motivation. And these are the characteristics about self we can regulate or we can control. We will discuss each and every topic in upcoming slides with example. Now let's talk about a very important quadrant of emotional intelligence, that is self-awareness. As name suggests, self-awareness is all about knowing yourself. If I go by the definition, self-awareness is the ability to recognize your emotions and how they affect your thoughts and behavior. So usually every human being is driven by their emotions and their emotions affect their thoughts and behavior. Now one of the important component in self-awareness is self-confident, and being self-confident is trusting in one's knowledge and ability. It's very simple. I mean, if you're going to trust yourself, your knowledge, your ability to do work, whatever task in your hand, then that's we call self-confident. If you're going to accurately assess yourself as why you are feeling in a certain way, then definitely you can drive things in a better way. Because if you know why you are angry, if you know why you are not doing well, you are not performing well, and if you know why you are feeling too much confident, in that way you can basically track things carefully and maybe you can drive things very smoothly. There are some tips available which boost up your self-confidence, right? The first one is appreciate the skills you have. Usually we have many skills, right? But we never recognize. We should always recognize our skills and we should appreciate like what we are good for. Next is possess an accurate view of your limitations and struggle, right? We should always have an clearly assessed what is our limitation, what is our struggle area. Accordingly we can improve. like yourself, imperfections and all, right? Whatever imperfections you have, you must like it because that's all yours. Know your strength and weaknesses. This is very important. Now there's one important concept is avoid falling into the pitfalls like the imposter syndrome. I'll tell you what is imposter syndrome is. Imposter syndrome is very common trait of a human being. Sometimes we do job, we drive things, but we feel that we are not the right fit for this job. And if someone will be found as a fraud. So if I quote it, I'm afraid that I'm not the right fit for this job and I'll be found out as fraud. This is imposter syndrome. We should avoid falling into such kind of pitfalls. Now let's talk about another important quadrant of emotional intelligence, that is self-management. Self-management is all about managing your emotions. In the previous slide, we talked about self-awareness, which is all about recognizing yourself. If you remember the quadrant, we have discussed about the two different categories. The one is regulate, another one is the recognize. This topic comes under regulate because we have to control our emotions so that it will not affect someone else negatively, right? So self-management is all about its ability to manage your emotions. The another topic is self-control, which is ability to act responsibly alongside your emotions, right? We should not overshadow someone by our emotions, because as we know, our emotions affect our thoughts and behavior. So it should be in a balanced way so that at the workplace we should not impact negatively by using our emotions. Now the very important topic in this particular category or in this particular topic self management is conscientiousness. And this is important with respect to promoting the greater good. If you talk about the definition, the conscientiousness is the promoting the greater good. Now how we build conscientiousness? So there are few factors here. The one is focus your energies on the end goal rather than the minor distractions, right? Rise above being provoked and stay positive. Keep your commitments and be trustworthy. Take responsibility for your own actions. We should not put, if something goes negative or not good, then we basically try to put on someone else. We should always take responsibility of such actions and then accordingly we should correct it. The another important component of self-management is adaptability. So adaptability is the ability to be flexible, and if you know, we are working in agile environment where this particular concept is very important. So these factors which is I'm talking about here, such as be flexible, change your approach based on current circumstances, adjust to new situations as they arise, adjust your directions if needed to meet the end goal. So these concepts are very important in order to manage yourself. As you remember, we have discussed about four different quadrants of emotional intelligence, and we divided our quadrant into two broader categories. The one is self and the next is others. We discussed about self as self-management and self-awareness in the first two slides. Now we are moving to the third quadrant, and this is all about others. The topic is social awareness. As definition suggests, social awareness is the ability to connect with others. In this topic, we are going to discuss about aspect of others. Showing empathy for others' emotions and concerns helps establish relationship. As we know, if we show empathy for towards others, we are going to have a healthy relationship at the workplace. The another aspect of social awareness is active listening. The third concept is empathy. Empathy is the ability to recognize and understand the emotions of others and be aware of the challenges they are facing. It's very important. This is all about putting yourself into someone else's shoes. When we interact with our team members or managers, we always try to listen first. We try to understand from their perspective, and then we should put our thoughts. I'll tell you how we can be more empathetic towards your team members. Let's say if you are working as a project manager, then how you can be more empathetic while interacting with your team members. The first is sense what others are feeling. Second is actively listen to showing or to show understanding. Okay, as I mentioned earlier also, the active listening is one of the pillar in social awareness. The third is let team members speak and try not to do all the talking, right? The fourth is, and the last one, avoid passing judgment and offering premature advice. So this all about somehow relates with active listening. If you actively listen what team is trying to say, accordingly you can articulate your thoughts and then put together. The another important concept in social awareness is organizational awareness, and that is the ability to recognize the organizational environment in which team members work. Many times project managers work in a project, right? They have their own set of team members, they have colleagues, they have their own managers, and they confined with that environment. So basically what we should do, we should always try to be open and understandable where organizations are heading. You know, what is the environment of organization, what is the culture of organization, that where we are working. So it's all about being aware about your organization and the culture in which you are working, or environment in which the team members or you are working. Let's talk about the fourth quadrant of emotional intelligence. We already covered the three different quadrants of emotional intelligence, that is self-awareness, self-management and social awareness. This is the fourth quadrant where we are going to talk about others and how we can regulate others. If I go by the definition, social skills are the ability to influence and inspire others, coach and mentor team members, and collaborate and work with them. So basically, every project manager has to lead a team. They have to work with a team, right? And sometimes many teams. And we divide or distribute the task among different team members, right? And many of the times our tasks dependent on each other. In that scenario, we must have the influencing skills in order to get the job done. We should always act as an inspirational leader, that is one who defines a compelling vision or goal that the team is working to achieve. They express their appreciation for their team and acknowledge their efforts, right? So that's the characteristics of inspirational leader. By definition, the influence is the ability to steer someone towards a goal and help them solving problems. Let's say I am working in a software development environment where I am building a software product. I am solving some of the business problems, right? So in order to do that, what we do, we divide our task among different team members. So we must have influencing skills to get our task done on time with quality and that should be in the interest of the project. Now in order to do the teamwork and collaboration, there are some tips here. Let me just describe here. Collaborate and work together to get the job done. This is the first step in order to do the teamwork and collaboration. Strive to add value to the whole. Listen to each other. We gain consensus. What does it mean? Everyone's opinion matters. And the last one, we arrive at decision very quickly. Basically, we should not take more time especially in the agile environment. We should always reach at the consensus by taking everyone's opinion, and then we should decide what need to be done, right? And then decision should be very quick. The last is we should have the ability to develop others and that is to coach and provide guidance to the team members. Also, sometimes it is required to provide the right feedback in a way that helps team members to improve their job performance, right? So these are the overall social skills that every project manager should carry. In this session, we have covered the topic emotional intelligence for high performance team, which is task 14 of people domain. You can connect with us on LinkedIn and Telegram for upcoming updates on PMP exam. Thank you.